What's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well on this fine Thursday evening or Friday morning, I guess, however you want to look at it, whichever time zone you're in. I think let's go ahead and get rid of Morg. Still just kind of obnoxious. Yes, she has been nerfed a lot, but... Just told her to close some tabs over. I have like so many tabs open. There we go. I was actually having to think about it. Let me get out of Discord here. Go. Close that out. Like I said, I'm gonna try on like this week. Like I said, I've had a little bit of a later start. Oh shit. Twitch into Pike. I guess just Rakan. I mean, I could do something like Janna or Lulu maybe. I'll try Lulu out. We'll mix it up a little bit. Alright, let's... And then I still just think just free boots plus cosmic insight. It's probably good. Now let's see if this guy actually plays this. Oh my god, dude! I probably actually have like 300 tabs open or something. Because lately I've just gotten in the bad habit of, oh, there's so many tabs I can't read them anymore. I'll just like pull one of those tabs out and make a new set of tabs. Hey, what's up, Derek? What's up, Lucas? Wonderful to see you all, as always. Alright, let me minimize that. Well, I guess we're in it. Doesn't can't scout it now. Hopefully this Twitch knows what he's doing. The Ignite is a little sus, but
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
hey, what's up, Matt? You gonna quit your guild? That's unfortunate. Too casual? You want some more hardcore? Well, you're welcome to come over and join us. Yeah, a lot of guilds are like that. So we picked Lulu here. Lulu is historically very good with Twitch. Because she just empowers his auto attacks and he attacks very quickly when he comes out of ambush. She's historically just really good with a lot of champs. And she's very good in the meta right now. I have not had a ton of success on her. I haven't been like awful with her, but I think she's one of those champs where if she's not banned, I just need to get better on her. Especially if I have like a Twitch or a Jinx or something.
A summoner has disconnected.
I missed one of them.
You're welcome.
First, an ally has been slain.
Yeah, took a lot of minion damage there. He did get first blood, which is cool. And then Pike, yeah, Pike got the kill. Just still not phenomenal, but at least it wasn't vain.
A summoner has reconnected.
Considering that it was kind of bad they got the first hit on us, I think that's fine. Given the circumstances, that was a pretty good trade.
There's a smell you can feel.
Fuck, I think I misclicked and shielded a minion instead. Damn. She did get that one though, which is not great.
Ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I feel like we should have been able to win that. If I just did, that's one of the huge problems with Lulu is if it's in traffic, if people are literally standing on a minion wave, like, it's so easy to misclick that shield.
I'm gonna want that back. You're looking a little.
I think he's gonna burn out, right? I think I literally just got enough mana for that shield, or it just came off cooldown or something, like right when I W'd her. I think I maybe could have shielded and killed her there.
An enemy has been slain.
God, Pike just barely healed out of it. If I could I have warded that bush maybe? I thought we had vision of him in the bush, but it's possible we didn't. That was nice. We needed a double kill.
Here's something that won't wash off.
An ally has
That was
been slain.
dumb AF. It wasn't even a minion wave.
An ally has been slain.
I'll be right under them.
I think Xerath's gonna get him. He should have just like gone invisible over here or something. I don't know. His pathing was rough right there.
You'll see more with your eyes closed.
he didn't have flash. I was about to say, yeah, I would have flashed for that. If he saw that Pike already had used his cooldown. This game's kind of clowny, but, I mean, we're in it. Twitch has 2 kills. It's Twitch Lulu.
Smell you can feel.
I don't know where Echo is. My vision's been pretty terrible, but to be fair, we've been fighting like non-stop. But I can still put a ward in that corner there.
You're looking a little green.
Okay, Echo's top.
An ally has been slain.
Really? Nice, there we go. Twitch has gotten caught in some weird situations, but he goes for it, man. I do like it. He is aggressive, like he has pretty high uptime on his auto attacks in these fights. So it's been unfortunate. He's just died a lot, but I think I fucked up some of that stuff too. Yeah, I mean, right now, I would say we probably have... Nice. That's why I love Twitch. I could have put the E on him faster. That would have been a little more secure. I'd say right now, we probably have 5 to 7 people that are, like, actively on every day, like, trying to level up and get ready to raid. And then we have, you know, maybe another 5 people or so that are, like, getting on sometimes, that are, like, relatively high level. They're looking for groups and stuff, so. Not, like, the biggest group in the world, but, you know, there's stuff going on. And I'm trying to work on a merger with some guys that I met in dungeons. I think they have, I think what they said was 7 to 10 people that, you know, they're looking to raid with. So if we can pull that together, we might, you know, get close to 15 to 20. And the guy that's running it, like, they're really nice, and he has a lot of experience. He was, like, pretty much maxed out Nax gear, and I don't know why he left his Nax guild. I think maybe he just couldn't make the raiding time, or they're just looking to trim on some warriors. I should have called the MIA on that Pike, probably. Now it's on.
An ally has been slain.
Yeah, I mean, there are some that are just social guilds. They just want as many people as possible. I mean, it is kind of cool when you log on if there's a lot of people that are just like, you know, hanging out, having conversations about just random stuff, joking around. Like, that is fun.
Sneaky, sneaky.
It kind of sucks when you're like the only person logged on, you know, in like a social game.
Oh, hello.
The only reason I took that was because I thought we were rotating up top, and I didn't want it to go to waste.
Slain.
Here's something that won't wash off. I'll be right under.
Shut down.
You're looking
You have slain an enemy. Enemy
Damn.
killing
I was trying to poly her, but I couldn't get in range. So I ended up just Wing him. Yeah, I mean, that's always, you know, the dream scenario, right? Where you have a serious guild that's also very chill and fun. And that's why I think, you know, it's so hard to walk that line. But these guys I've been talking to, from what I've experienced with them, they seem pretty cool. At least the 5 people I've run with consistently. So I'm trying to, you know, get a feel for them, run as many dungeons that I can, kind of play some politics. Hook them up. It's a chance, you know, we would have to move over to their guild, but I just want to get stuff cleared too. Like, I want to have fun, but they're fun too, you know. But right now, the way it's looking with how many active people we have and like how hard it's going to be to recruit, because so many guilds are recruiting and we have like no, you know, no clout on this server. I'm getting some notoriety, like I'm running a lot of dungeons and a lot of people seem to like my healing, so.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
But it's just gonna be hard to get like everything. Like, we can do it, but it's nice. It would be so nice to pick up a package deal with people that have already been vetted, that already like each other, that are already, like, I can attest to them being skilled. You know, and when we wipe, we've had a couple of tough pulls and people have F'd some stuff up, you know, and hours of playing. So I've had plenty of time to see them, you know, when people make mistakes. Nobody freaks out. Everyone's just like, okay, what's going on here? Do we need to change how we're CCing this? Do we, you know, could we use these cooldowns differently? So I think that they have the right kind of business casual atmosphere that would be really good. That matches kind of what we're going for. How did Twitch die? Oh, he's up top. He needs to stay near me. Or maybe I need to stay near him. Two sides of the same coin. I need to get stacks here. Yeah, DPS warriors are a little hard to come by. They are very good in Classic, but I think it's a little overblown how much they've fallen off in TBC. Same with rogues. I just ran a group with 2 rogues in it, and it was one of the better runs I'd had in this dungeon, Mana Tunes, which is pretty hard. It was fine. People just love to go to extremes, you know? They're like, oh, well, the highest rated guild in the world said that rogues are, you know, not viable anymore. Hey, what's up, Maverick? Hey, I got your message, man. I totally understand. I'm sorry that, you know, about what you talked about. I get it, though. It's, you know, it's just one of those things. But I'm glad you're still coming on here and hanging out with us. Well, I mean, they're just going maximum efficiency at all costs. And I do think that some of these raids are going to be a lot harder than people think they are. But at the same time, I don't think if you have just like, you know, a reasonable timeline about it. Then you can probably get it done. I just love it, the people that are just like, oh, the game is totally solved in TBC, you know? It's so easy. It's not hard. It's like when these people do like these world firsts, like, you know, somebody cleared Karazhan within 24 hours, one guild did. I think it was Progress. And it's like, I don't know, man. I get it. You don't have to care about anything you don't want to care about. But to say that it's solved and it's easy and anyone can do it, that's like saying, like, anyone can run a marathon. Who gives a shit? Like, all you have to do is walk 26 miles. Just, you know. Or even, you can just take your car, drive 26 miles, you know. Stop off at a hotel, go hang out at the beach. You know, whatever. It's like, it's not just about traveling the 26 miles, right? It's like how fast you do it. Like, speed is a thing that some people care about and some people don't competitively, you know? So it's like some people care about that stuff, some people don't. Accidentally didn't click on myself. I probably should have done like the shift click or whatever the hell it is. I need to get the hell out of here. Pike's coming.
Ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Did someone clear Mag on day 2? They must have nerfed him then, because I don't know. I guess if people come in with like 1 billion gold, maybe. I mean, if you have, like, if everybody has, like, these ultra guilds, you know, if they have, like, 100,000 gold and everybody has, like, 10 alts or something, and they all, like, go in and, you know, they've been farming out, like, Netherweave from the Karazhan zone and stuff like that, and they already had, you know, like, 5,000 Netherweave ready to go, and then they just, like, made all of the cloth and immediately got all of their clothies and just pass it around and immediately got all of their clothies, the, you know, the sets, the 3-piece sets. You know, you could do it if it was just like insanely prepped ahead of time.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
But I imagine it would have taken like lots and lots and lots of ults.
I was hiding.
Man, I love me some Twitches.
Has destroyed a turret.
Can we go? Oh, Mundo's just tanking it. Nah, let's just back out. I don't think we're gonna be able to get it. There, you can't do pre-raid bis months ago. You can have Nax gear, but that's not literal pre-raid bis. Like Nax gear is good, but like the tailoring sets, like I mentioned before, are way better.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
There are some things in Nax that could be good.
I'll be right under.
Get him, Twitch.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
I recommend skipping.
Yeah, but I mean, they probably were insanely prepped. The thing to me that would be the most time consuming would be, like I said, to get those cloths. And even to get the primals, like, if that's what they did, maybe they did it without the cloth sets, but it takes a long ass time, or a lot of gold, or people helping you out, like just a billion alts. And other people, like, you'd have to have like other people in your guild basically like running, just constantly getting in there, like another whole like raid worth of people or more, just an army of people, you know, just like going out and farming all those primals for you while you're like chain running dungeons. They're running out and trying to get these primals, and you know, dropping whatever cash they can on the auction house to buy these primals.
That squirrel looks familiar.
Just like having, you know, a bunch of alts and like, I guess they couldn't even do split runs to kind of prep for it, but
Nosy dewdrop.
An enemy has been slain.
be like just having like a crew, like a pit crew. You're like trying to run a race or something, and you've got like someone running beside you with like an oxygen mask, or like you know, driving a golf cart next to you, like hooking you up with an oxygen mask, and like you got some people behind you like pushing you along or something. I don't even have an analogy for it, but like they just got an IV drip with like meth or something right into your veins while you're running. Well, it's a different thing from competitive LoL. Like, there's some of it. But, oh, yeah, they have an entire... I'm sure they have an entire legion of other people in that guild that just funnel them money and primals and just whatever they need to get that stuff done. I don't know where Jason is. Maybe he had to work. No. I don't think so. I mean, maybe they're good, but it's just a different beast. I don't think it's the same thing as playing something like competitive League of Legends. Now, I don't necessarily think that it's like completely transferable. Like pro League of Legends players would be, you know, automatically you could put them in and have them, you know, go for these world firsts. But I would, if I had to choose, I would say pro League of Legends is much harder. Something that might be closer would be like an arena team or something, like the #1 arena team, you know, might be able to pick up and do League of Legends pretty well. Because I think arena is a little bit closer, because it's like against other players, and you're having to look at cooldowns of skills and, you know, all of that other stuff. These world firsts are more akin to like these like speed run type of skills where you're playing against AI and you're just figuring out how to get as many possible exploits and edges and all this other stuff that you can, like the fast games done quick or whatever that thing's called with the speedrunners. I think it's a lot closer to that type of thing, which is competitive. It's difficult, but it's a different kind of thing in my mind because it's not versus other people. Like, you don't have to be able to adapt your decision making as much. It's like you're rehearsing it and you're learning the dance, like, as well as you can possibly learn it, versus learning how to adjust on the fly to something that's not choreographed. There's some of that, obviously, but it's much closer to like a choreographed dance. You know, just absolutely mastering your rotations and exactly where you're supposed to be standing and all that kind of stuff. Do we have anybody on that wants to play? Queenly. They're both in game. How long does Teamfight Tactics last? But it's totally respectable. I don't want to minimize it. I think that it deserves, you know, well, I mean, respect does not necessarily deserve. It's people either give it or not, right? I mean, some people care about some things and some people just don't care about other things, and that's fine. But enchanters are getting a new... Oh, sorry, I was thinking, okay, so League. Are they? Where did they talk about that? Was that tweeted? I haven't kept up with Mark Yetter's tweets and stuff recently. It's like to go with the edgy spelling from like 15 years ago, the cringe spelling. Surrender at 20. Oh, it's in Riot, please. Okay. Hold on just one sec. Let me, Clean Lead just started a game, so that's gonna, well, like 10 minutes. It is always kind of fun to like just play with someone else in general. I don't think it helps my win rate. I don't think it necessarily hurts it a lot, but it's just more fun. Dude, that's gonna be just like insanely OP. Surrender at 20 or a riot, please. Okay, let me see riot, please. If Clean wants to play, we could just look at these items and just like chat. If it looks like his game's gonna be over in like 15 minutes or something, we could just hang out for a little bit. Say. Get rid of that. Oh, I do need to. Okay, I do need to post up. I think I uploaded a Warhammer video. Where is it on the main client? Sometimes they advertise these things. Yeah, I know it's hard to tell at 9, but I mean, if it's like 0 and 15, sometimes you can say, this is probably a FF15 or FF20, but yeah, it's hard. It's like my wife will sometimes ask me, how long is that going to be? I'm like, I don't know. Is it called, what? Hold on, let me see what's it called. Oh, I guess I could just go to surrender at 20, that'd be fine. Sometimes it's nice to read Riot's actual thing. They'll probably have a link to the actual thing, a surrender at 20. Just to kind of see what their thought process is. Is it under tentative balance changes? It's been a long time since I've looked at surrender at 20, because usually Mark Yetter's tweet, I guess Mark Yetter would be another one. I just, like, his tweets have been a pretty good indication. Oh, it's the first post on surrender at 20. On the homepage? Oh, okay, this. Oh, it's Ask Riot. Okay, so they don't have any stats or anything, it just... Okay, let's see here. So we're just waiting on Cleanly for a second. Oh, I could... Well, hold on. Let me pull this up here. I wish I could make this... Maybe there's a way... I don't know. Maybe I could make it into a rectangle. Oops. Come on. There we go. I can just put that up if I'm like going to the bathroom or like whatever we're waiting on, or if we're just talking for a little bit, just to kind of let people know what's up who like just tune in. Are there any plans for new items in the shop? We're introducing a new legendary tank item that has a binding like Knight's Vow or Zeke's. But this time the twist is that it's enemy targeted. Okay, so you target the enemy. The item grants damage reduction against that targeted enemy, as well as a tenacity reduction aura against them if you're close to them. So they can be CC'd longer. That's such a weird comment. So it's damage reduction, so that would be like you'd want that against assassins, or like some kind of heavy, like just melee burst damage if you have to get close enough to target them, like a Riven or something like that. The tenacity reduction aura, it says it's an aura if you're close to them. So now they can be CC'd for longer. So if you put that on Leona or something, if they're building like Mercury Treads, you can keep the CC on them. I don't think you're going to target ADCs. It sounds like this is like really close range. ADCs are not building tenacity anyways, you know, 90% of the time. Unless you're talking about a different item. But I mean, yeah, you could do it as a I see what you're saying. The damage reduction aura could work. It just depends on how close that tether is. But I see what you're saying. So the tenacity wouldn't matter, but the damage reduction would matter. But that's what makes me think if you have a lot of CC and you're trying to peel in some kind of assassin who's going to take Mercury Treads or a tank or something like that, like a Riven with Mercs. I don't think they'll let you go in a negative tenacity where it would increase the time on stuff. I hope not. That would be really weird. While we're talking about split pushing... Wait, who was talking about split pushing? Seems like a weird non sequitur there, but anyways. Let's talk about Sanguine Blade. This item has an awesome solo operative fantasy, but its stat package has struggled to support it. Is there an item called Sanguine Blade in the game? I know it had been in the 4 fun game modes, but... Isn't it like a lifesteal item? Isn't it like basically... It's not Death's Dance. Is it literally still in there right now? I don't think I've ever seen that item. I know it was like lifesteal. Do we still have the shop? Like where you can look at items? Oh, is that the isolation lethality one? That like Draven would get sometimes? That must be like the least purchased item in the game if it's actually there, because I literally did not even like I can't remember the last time I saw that item. Other than like Draven getting it, and I was just like, stop. You're not gonna isolate people. I don't know where the hell it is, but okay, what do they have to say about it? This item has an awesome blah blah blah. We're reworking this item and taking out the lethality space, broadening the appeal to AD champions focused on side potential. Okay. Partially index it into taking a tower that is being defended by a durable opponent. What does that mean? True damage to towers or something? We're planning to ship these items in the same patch. Is split pushing that much? I feel like a lot of split pushers have gotten huge bonuses, and they can really take the towers quickly. Like Fiora, for example, her riposte can hit towers and stuff now. Just do it like that. You don't need an extra item for that. Just make like Trundle's Chomp affect towers and, you know, that type of thing. Wait, what does that say? Okay. While near one or fewer visible enemy champions, gain lethality and bonus attack speed, decaying over 3 seconds. Okay. Okay, yeah. Alright, I guess I just forgot they named it Sanguine Blade, but yeah, I remember that. Just like nobody does that. Enchanters support legendary item and development. Why? Enchanters already have the best items. I mean, I love enchanters, but I don't know. Let's see what it is. Enchanters have been entirely defenseless when caught. Yes, that's what balances them. They're OP AF if you don't shut them up. Making them exceptionally punishing to play when the enemy team has powerful aggressors. Yes. The new item will provide burst resistance in the vein of Zanya's Hourglass, but with a much more supportive blend. I'm just saying they need to be extremely careful with that. Like, I like that as someone who plays enchanters, but if they give something like Hourglass that gives plus healing and shielding and health and resistance and like just makes it impossible to kill something like Soraka or Sona, that's gonna be a huge problem. I mean, they have really high scaling, and the thing that balances them is the fact you can catch them and kill them. That's why that's why so many high-level players hate Yuumi, and why she's so powerful compared to most other enchanters, why she's one of the only ones that was consistently picked in pro for a while there, except for maybe like Seraphine, is that she is extremely difficult to kill. Because they took away your ability to burst her out in a lot of scenarios late game. So I don't know. They need to be careful with those things. But I mean, like I said, I like enchanters. I play enchanters a lot, but especially high-level players, most high-level players do not want an enchanter support meta. Most of them do not like that. I think a lot of players in general don't like that either. Although I know on my channel, I don't think enchanters need to be completely out of the meta, but I think they need to be appropriately dangerous to play. Hey, thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate it. So just being like, trying to be objectively fair, you know, if they're gonna do that, I could get on board with that, but they have to, if they're gonna make them more durable and more balanced, then they have to dial back, like, some of their scaling. Like, the plus healing and shielding on some of these things has to get dialed back, or, like, the bonus damage. Lulu is the one that would potentially go to pro if they make that shit too strong, because she actually has, like, a pretty good kit at protecting herself and protecting other people, too. With Polymorph, the ultimate, she can be aggressive early on in lane. She's just kind of frail and she can get caught out. And one of the biggest things with pros and enchanter supports is they can get blown up while they're warding a lot of the time. So that's why you've got like Yuumi was in pro for a little bit, and Rakan, who's like an enchanter, you know, in quotes, but because he can be so safe and get away from stuff. What do I think of Yuumi? I think she's a very dangerous champion. I think she's cool design, but, you know, as I've been saying for a long time, I think they need to rework her W to where it's not permanent, where it's temporary. You can only be on a person for a limited amount of time. So, like, you attach to them for 5 seconds, and then you automatically get dumped off, and you can't reattach for 5 seconds. So you have to pick your moment, like, where you attach and where you don't, and then just readjust her skills a little bit. But I think she just needs to have more windows of vulnerability late game. Like, they're trying to do that by gating her mana. So by saying, look, you're not going to be able to fight an extended fight unless you jump off and auto-attack somebody. You're just going to run out of mana. Like, that's how they've tried to do it, but I don't think that's the best way they could do it. I think they should, you know, try some other options. So I think just like forcing her to get knocked off. Now maybe in a team fight you could reattach, because like part of it is she's just so hard to kill later, and part of it is she doesn't have to buy boots either because she can stay permanently attached. So that pretty much gives her 950 free gold at the start from not having to get Ionian boots, and she already scales really well with enchanter items, which are already really cheap. So, you know, her first item is like 1450 gold effectively. So she gets a mythic for 1450 because she doesn't have to get boots. So that, you know, when you're getting something like Moonstone for 1450 or Shirellia is like, that's creating a situation where it's going to be very difficult to balance that champion. Set more of that over. Sorry, we're just waiting on Cleanly. He's almost out. Just adjusting some stuff on the side over here and reading chat. I don't think it would be good for the game if you detach late game in team fights. You just die in 1 second. Well, you got to think good for her, like. But no, that's what I'm saying. They have to rework something about her. Like, maybe they could make her shield bigger, or when she activates her passive, she gets, like, some bonus movement speed. You know, obviously they would tone down the mana cost on her heal and her Q, because right now her mana costs are so high to try to force her to jump off, but if she had to jump off, like, if she was forced to jump off naturally, then they could do that. Like, maybe give her Q a bigger slow, or something like that. So, or maybe like increase her movement speed if she hits her Q. So there are ways they could do it and make it more viable. But yeah, it would take a second. Sorry, I'm just looking at some over here on the second monitor while we're working here. Exactly. I mean, I'm saying, like, they would obviously have to rework it, right? They'd have to rebalance all the stats and blah, blah, blah. But I think the main sticking point that's making Yuumi, like, impossible to balance or extremely difficult to balance is because she basically can go invulnerable late game. So they just have to make it to where she just can't be playable. It's kind of like Taric, right? Like, why Taric doesn't show up a lot is they just increase his mana costs are so high in the context of the items he gets and things like that a lot of the time, that he's just not viable because his ultimate's just too strong. Right, so they had to nerf the hell out of everything else he was doing. Like, they nerfed his E damage by, like, 50 or something. Because invulnerability, it turns out, is really good. There's not a lot of counterplay to invulnerability. So, I mean, with Taric, you can, like, disengage. But Yuumi, there's just, like, almost no counterplay to that. Like, the counterplay is, well, kill the person Yuumi's attached to. But in a team fight, she just attaches to somebody else. Like, you just can't focus her. Like, it's a cool mechanic, but, like I said, the fact that it's permanent just doesn't give enough windows of vulnerability, and so they have to nerf the hell out of all of her other stuff and just basically make her not viable, or not necessarily not viable, but in a fairly weakened state, just so that like pro players don't abuse her. Rakan does have better mobility and tools, but he does not buff up allies nearly as much as Yuumi does. Like, Yuumi's E gives movement speed, and attack speed, and it's a really big heal, much bigger than Rakan's shield, and it's on a much lower cooldown. It's on an 8-second cooldown, and she gives out, you know, a bunch of empowered stats, right? The extra either AP or AD. They're very different. Like, yes, Rakan is viable now after having a shitload of nerfs on him. It was a similar thing with Rakan. Like, it was impossible to balance Rakan when you could R plus W instantly. So they had to add in a half a second delay on his W to make him viable. Because before they did that, they just nerfed the shit out of all of his stats. They just made him, like, grandpa slow. And just nerfed everything about him because there was that one thing about his kit that was just too difficult to balance, which is the instant RW. Like, for pro, it's just too good on the engage. They had to make a very deliberate mechanic to Rakan to address the weakest aspect of his kit, and then they buffed they buffed a lot of other stuff, right? They increased his R movement speed, his W movement speed. They buffed up the damage on his W. So they were able to give him all these other buffs and get him to a much more balanced state where he's viable in pro, he's viable in solo queue, because they were able to take around that one thing that they had to nerf the shit out of everything else to try to accommodate that one mechanic that was too strong. So you're just having to pay too high of a price for that. A similar thing has kind of happened with Alistar. They had to nerf Alistar back in the day as well because the WQ was just way too strong of an engage. Right, you just WQ, and when his knock up was like, it would knock you up for 1 second, and then you were stunned for an extra half a second on the way down. It's too good for guaranteed engage. So they reworked him to where his knock up was only 1 second, and then there was more counterplay to where he had to stay close to people to get that stun again. So there are just some types of mechanics, especially in pro, that are too good, and they have to adjust champions and take away the thing that is really difficult to balance around, and then they can give people back, you know, more power in other places. I understand. I mean, Rakan is very safe. They're different champions, but Yuumi buffs people way, way more than Rakan does. And it's guaranteed power right now. That's the thing. You just attach. That's the thing, is there's not a lot of counterplay to that. Like, you just attach, you give AD and AP, you press the heal button, they get speed, attack speed, healing, they get all that stuff. Like, Rakan, he is fast, but his weakness is if they have a lot of CC or they catch him out. Like if Thresh flays him when he tries to go in for a W, then he can be blown up very easily. So Rakan's good, but you know, there is some counterplay to what he's doing. So I don't know. I mean, it's all speculative. They haven't said they're going to do any of that with Yuumi. But I think that's what needs to happen. I mean, she's got a 50% win rate in solo queue, so it's not, you know, it's not that crazy. I think Clean's almost out. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's too quiet, Hudson. I'm sorry about that. Actually, speaking of which, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I'll try to keep it up more in the future. You know, volume's just always one of those things where, you know, for some people it's too soft, some people it's not, but I've already recorded a lot of those episodes, but in the future, I'm going to start releasing, I think the next one I'm doing is Sartosa. I'll be sure to turn it up a little bit. Wait, was Lee... Is he getting on a different account? But yes, speaking of you mentioning that, let me go ahead. I'm pretty sure I uploaded another episode So I can go ahead and release that. I meant to do it. I just got sidetracked. Let me check here. I think I uploaded some more the other day because I had 10 episodes recorded. I think we were on like what, episode 7 or something. And I'm gonna get the thumbnails back too. I know it's a pain in the ass to not have the thumbnails. I've just had so much shit going on. I'm like racing to try to stay relevant here, and WoW. Hopefully that will settle down in a week or so. Then I can start, you know, being more consistent, getting, you know, with the Total War, getting the other content out. Yeah, I've got an episode here for you. And that was a really fun campaign. I might release some more on it too. But I know I'm also doing Sartosa, and some people had... There were some other ones too that some people had asked about they wanted to donate for, so... I should be able to get back on that train and be more consistent with that very soon. Yeah, I know I need to put it in a playlist and give it thumbnails and all that stuff. Let me post this real quick. Hopefully Lee's getting back on. Or we may have just waited for... I guess it wasn't for nothing for 15 minutes. We sitting here talking about balance and looking at some of the new things. And thanks for coming out to the League stream, too, to talk about Total War. I always encourage people to do that, because I totally don't mind talking about it, and it's kind of fun, you know, to talk about Total War stuff. And we talk about all sorts of things that aren't necessarily League-related. Although we do talk about League a lot, too, obviously. It's a League stream, but I always try to welcome people to just come and hang out and talk about whatever they want to talk about. Within reason, obviously. Try to avoid the, you know... super controversial stuff. Bruh, hold on a second. I just saw this on Twitter or whatever. The place I think I will have fun and forget about my problems, but instead I end up being more tilted than I was before. Yeah, no shit. Groggus nudes. That's pretty funny. You don't go to League to unwind or chill. Like, it's a terrible idea. Like, maybe watch a League stream that's relaxed or something, but it's competitive. It's like saying, yeah, man, I like to go out and, I don't know, do this competitive league of pickup basketball or something like that just to kind of relax a little bit. It's like, no, dude. It's gonna be a workout. I don't know. I think people just don't understand, like, genres and purposes of different games. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I have a weird sense of it. But if something's competitive, like, it's not gonna be, like, carefree, stress-free fun, no matter what it is. Just the competitive nature of it. I mean, it could be, if you have that outlook. League doesn't have to be stressful. You don't have to care if you lose or if you don't have a rank. But, you know, that's what I think makes it appealing to a lot of people, is that it is challenging. It's not a single-player game that you beat in 20 hours and, you know, there goes your $60, right? It's something that is perpetual, that's just always going on, that you can always get into, that's always evolving and changing, right? And, you know, is always competitive. Like, it's hard. And so when you actually get somewhere in it, you can feel a sense of accomplishment rather than just like, okay, I beat this single-player game, you know? I guess I'll go look for another one. Like, those can be fun, like story games and things like that, but it's a different thing. It's not trying to be, I don't think, like, fun in that sense. It's trying to be competitive, and some people find competitive stuff fun, and some people find competitive stuff not fun. It just kind of depends on what you're into. Did Lee Law? Did you not want to play Lee? Where the... Damn it, I lost track of my stuff here. There go your hundreds instead. Oh, you're getting on? Okay, you're just getting something to eat or something. Discuss hentai within reason. Yeah, I mean, I like it too. Hey, I like, I like Witcher. I like, single player games too. But like, I know I'm sitting down for a different type of experience, right? When I'm playing Witcher versus when I'm playing League, it's a different deal. That's how I view it, anyways. What other balance changes do they have coming up here? Mobility reduction. That could be literally anything. Champion nerfs. Wukong, Kaisa, Varus, Nasus, Gnar, Renekton. Is there a more updated version of this with actual numbers? Yeah, here we go. Wukong's AD is going down and bonus AD ratio. That's okay. You don't see Wukong a lot, but he has like low-key pretty strong. Kaisa Q cooldown is going up quite a bit at early levels. I don't know. You max that first in like 2 seconds. Does that really matter for trades early? I mean, I guess if it's like a level 2 all in, like it's harder to get 2 off in an extended fight. Oh, a slideshow. Okay, I'll fix that. Hang on. Varus W bonus damage going up. Nasus lifesteal. Okay. Gnar. All right. I don't think those are gonna matter. Wait, why are they nerfing Nasus? I guess maybe for silver or something. Renekton. Okay, less healing. Again, I don't see him a ton in the meta. It might be for pro or something. Like, who keeps losing to Talon on the balance team? Cause, like, he just got nerfed again. He has no pro presence. Like, I don't know. I don't like the champion personally. I think he's really annoying to play against. So I'm cool with him getting nerfed, but I just don't really get it. Udyr. What are we selling over here? Our cone damage is going down. Good. Get him out of there. He does still feel a little too strong for me. I think it's a nice balance. I think you're right, Hudson. That's why I kind of like doing League and like Total War and stuff like that. Total War can be stressful sometimes too, on Legendary, but not as much as League is most of the time. But it is nice to kind of just go in and do some of that content too. Okay, yeah, just use a different account or whatever. Is that you that just friended me? Okay, so Rammus bonus armor. That's actually really huge. Early on, 10 bonus armor that's pretty big. And 20 seconds off of his R. That's big deal. I don't know that necessarily puts him up to top of the class, but I also don't think he's terrible right now, under Diamond at least. Where the hell was that? Is that under notification? I'm blanking out. Low on sleep. Where the hell is the friend thing? I just heard the ding or whatever. Or maybe that was something else. What am I missing? Where's the... That's add friend. Do I need to add you or did you just add me? I thought it showed up here. Do I have to get off that screen? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, there we go, there we go. Alright, so let's see. So Draven getting 5 extra damage on the Q early, scaling up to just 5 total with more attack scaling. Okay. Hecarim. This is the second straight patch they're buffing Hecarim. It's like, just stop, man. Quit making him a thing. He was already good for a really long time. It's okay if he's, you know, tier 2 for a few patches. Malphite extra armor. Okay. Ziggs. Longer range on the missile. Look. Here's the thing with Ziggs that they need to do. Lower the cooldown on W. That's his most cool ability. His satchel charge. And allow, like, make it to where you can detonate it midair. You know how awesome that would be? If that satchel charge started off on, like, a... I don't know... 12-second cooldown or something, and you throw it. It'd be like a mini Gragas barrel. You throw it, and then you could blast, and either blast other people away, blast them towards you. It'd be so badass, right? Like, Lee's trying to, like, connect with his second Q coming in at you, and you just throw it and blast him. I don't know. I think that would add a lot to his kit. That would be some really cool, like, skill expression. And because you have to activate it again, so it's not like exactly a stun, and like the amount of blast is way lower than Gragas. Like it wouldn't, you know, it's not gonna knock him like 1,000 units or something. It just knock him like a couple hundred units. I think it'd be badass. But Ziggs is also a champion where you really don't want him in the meta. He's so obnoxious. Like it's so hard to wave clear through him. It's the same thing with Anivia. Like. You just don't want to see those champs for very long in the meta. No, not destroy the towers. That's part of it that could be toxic with Ziggs too. But like the poke spamming bombs part of his kit could be fun. Oh, Morg's already banned. Alright, well. Whatever, I guess. Jarvan, W, okay. And then Aphelios, I'm not reading all that. Numbers, okay. It's alright. I mean, it's not... Doesn't look like anything too earth-shaking. I think the Udyr nerf is very good, and I think the Rammus buff is pretty meaningful. Zed. That's Rakan. It's pretty much automatic, just about if I see Zed. If I can do it, I'm gonna play Rakan. He just ruins Rakan's day. Or ruins Zed's day. Oof. Well, I guess Vayne can knock Tristana back if she's fast enough. That can definitely be a little dicey. Oh, what? Trolled. Oh, did I glitch it? I was gonna do my Like, change my runes in the last couple of 10 seconds to just double check my runes. Oh, Cypress. Hey, what's up, friend? I think it's John, right? Trying to remember. Welcome, friend. Glad to see you out there. Yeah, it is 1:47 a.m. here. Well, it's got the clock down in the bottom. But always great to see you. Let's get rid of Morg.
Your worst decision will haunt you.
New Maokai. Am I picking Soraka today too? It's possible if I'm like a last pick, but I'll be honest with you, it's not probable. Thanks. Yeah, I wish I could play everyone's favorite. Actually, I like Soraka. I think Soraka's fun. It's just it's kind of tough. They did like Moonstone does help out a little bit, but oof, Jinx and a Talon. I mean, I think Jinx is really strong, but that's difficult. It's one of the troubles of being like a really early pick. Fiddlestick. Well, Maokai is pretty good against Fiddlesticks. I'm gonna go double armor here. Pantheon. Well, I guess Pantheon's pretty good against Talon. Alright, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, good. Whew. Nature called there. I don't know. Like a Xena warrior princess is nature now.
The water of life succumbed to death. Waters will follow.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Alright, so we're definitely going to have to keep the seeds ready to roll.
30 seconds to minion spawn.
Idol is over.
To try to prevent Talon from coming at us. You know, Talon's favorite is going to be to push in and then come down this way. So, I don't even know. There's not even any bushes around there. He's such an annoying champ. Because that's going to make me, like, walk all the way up and throw it here. I guess I can walk up river and just throw one here and throw one here, maybe.
Take them with me.
Oh, hang on, Teddy. One out. So he wants to look outside.
The mist haunts my every move, yet I resist.
Don't want to put any damage on this until she gets here, obviously.
I can watch the mortals doom themselves from here.
I was hoping it'd hit her.
You make me glad I don't have ears.
Oh, there is Fiddle. What? Oh no, that was just a scouting thing. Which champion are you talking about? Maokai? Or are you talking about Rakan? No, you would. As support, you would never max W first. I mean, maybe if you're going tank support, I still think you would max Q though. I'm not sure, unless there's some kind of new thing I'm not aware of. The most popular build is max your E. I mean, you could be looking at top lane, maybe. I could see, even top lane, I would probably still max Q first. LGBT, I mean, I don't know, maybe, like, what's her name? The chameleon girl is, like, pretty out, like, lesbian. And then, like, Tarek is pretty thinly veiled. You know, gay man. Yeah, I mean, they pretty much marketed what's her name as being lesbian, I'm pretty sure. Nico. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's not on my... I just want well-balanced champions. I mean, if they want to engage with social stuff, that's cool. Doesn't... It might be on Dragon. I don't know if we can do a lot about it, but... Yeah, Varus. I forgot Varus is pretty, I mean, I think his whole thing, yeah, he was like a blended... I don't remember his whole lore, but wasn't he like... These two men that were lovers ended up getting blended together, one sacrificed the other or something? I don't know about the Diana and Leona stuff. I really haven't followed it too much, but yeah, I mean, there's already some gesture towards that. I mean, at the same time, you gotta be careful with, like, some of that stuff. Like, you don't want to make it, like, stereotype, like... I mean, I guess you could, but... Like, oh, this is the super flaming gay character, you know? Like, just be a normal character. It just happens to be gay, too, you know? Like... I think that's kind of where a lot of the thought process is these days, is you just kind of want it just normalized and not like too over the top, you know, obvious type of stuff, right? And it's a lot of it's the same with like race, right? You don't want it to be like, oh, here's, you know, the black character, right? It's just like, okay, it's a character that's African American that does, you know, other stuff too, other than the stereotypes, right? So you don't want him to feel like a token, you know. So I don't know. It's a delicate balance. Like, you want to be engaged and you want to, you know, try to have good representation of, you know, all sorts of different cultures and things like that. But or however you want to define. You just want to have good representation, but you don't want it to be like too tokeny, you know, or just, I don't know, just not feel authentic, right? So it's a delicate, you know, kind of balance, I feel like. Oh, she would have hit that. And we can't force dragon or anything. Okay, I stopped her back though. That was actually pretty big. We do have to be careful with Fiddle. I thought Maokai is extremely good in a Fiddlesticks. I didn't pick that counter pick, but he counterpicked himself. But yeah, just you should have so much scouting. It's kind of dangerous if some of this is warded, but yeah, I agree with that, Dave. And that's what I think. That's kind of how the conversation has been evolving. I remember I had you could say the same about women, right? Like, where, you know, you don't want it to be like, oh, we need more women. And I mean, women's not really a problem with League. I think the characters are about 50-50. And usually in fantasy, women have a pretty good representation in fantasy games. But in terms of, like, they're represented a lot. Okay, Talon might be coming down here. But I just remember I had a professor in grad school, and it was like women authors in the modernist era, and she was LGBT, and I just remember like someone in class said something like to the effect of, wow, I don't remember, it was like Vera Brittain writing about something, I don't remember what it was, writing about war or something like that. I think it was in the 1920s, and you know, this student made the comment something along the lines of, wow, that's a very good war account, you know, for a woman, right? Because they weren't really involved in the war. And like what he was trying to say, I think, was like, you know, they're just, it was a good accomplishment because there was this handicap, right, for, you know, writing about war or whatever it was at the time. So like his intent was good, but like what she said about it, was, why don't we just say it's a good novel about war? Like, why does it have to have the caveat, you know, for a woman on it? And so he was trying to give it this handicap and saying, you know, we should appreciate this more because it was done with this handicap. But she was just basically saying, I don't want to look at it as a handicap. I want to look at it as just, it was just a good, you know, tale about war, handicap or no, right? So that's definitely a school of thought too, is it's like, do you handicap it or not? Right? Like the accomplishment. And that's a debate even amongst, like, you know, people of these different cultures, right? Like, how much do you want to say, well, this is good because of this handicap, right? Versus it's just good on its own merit. But yeah, I mean, you could go down that rabbit hole of like, what's the appropriate way to, you know, engage with these different, you know, cultural realities or whatever, cultural constructions, whatever we want to, you know, talk about in terms of that. There's a lot of different ways you could think about what's the optimal way to manage that type of stuff, but I don't know. I mean, they could put more gay characters in there, right? LGBT characters. Probably be cool, but again, that's not like... It's not my major concern. It's not that it's not like a good goal or whatever, but I just want it to be a good game, you know, in general. And then if they want to put more of that stuff, you know, in there, that's fine. Maybe I didn't need to flash there. Maybe I did. I don't know. Pull his ass up. Tier 2 boots, baby. When you upgrade your boots on Maokai, it makes your saplings faster. If you didn't know that. Your sapling run speed is based on your boots move speed. That's right. That's why you get the boots early. Or try. I still get the free boots, but hopefully I'm... Okay, I was about to say, hopefully I'm not getting taloned here. I agree with that, Dave. And that's what will make it feel authentic. It needs to feel like an authentic, actual person, you know? Like, I think Game of Thrones, as much flack as it gets for a while, I think that it handled, like, Tyrion's, you know, dwarfism very well. Right? Like, it wasn't like, it was a part of his identity, but it fit organically into the show, and he was like an actual person that was, you know, well-rounded, had good stuff about him, bad stuff about him. It wasn't just that he was a dwarf, and they just put him in just because they wanted, I mean, I know he was an actual character in the book that was like that, and that's why they put him in, but it just felt like he was integrated so seamlessly into that world. It didn't feel like it was a, you know, just a nod to dwarfism, right? Like, it was like, no, he's an actual person that just happens to be a dwarf, right? And it affects who he is. It's part of his identity, but it's not the only thing in his identity. But it affected it in a really organic way. It didn't feel pandering, you know? Magical boots OP. Yeah, true. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm just so used to taking Shrelia's. It's close, just about screwed up there. And it's just like, even in like the earlier stages, right? Like, Dany, you know, before the writing was really bad in the last few seasons, but Dany wasn't just like, oh, she's just, you know, girl power, right? Like, she's in this figure of authority, she's a woman and stuff like that. It was like, you know, she was a mixed character, right? Like, part of her was kind of meek, you know, part of her was powerful at the end, part of her was compassionate, part of her was brutal, you know, she was just, you know, she was a complex leader. Now, near the end, it just got ridiculous, obviously, but yeah, I think characters just need to be characters first, and then you kind of weave the diversity into that world, and I don't think it needs to feel that stilted or, like, you know, whatever, because there is diversity, you know, in the world. So it's not like, you shouldn't have to go that far out of your way to write it in, you know, because actual, you know, gay people, actual women, actual African Americans are diverse, you know, they're not stereotyped. So it's just trying to be true to that, and just help it fit in organically is a good goal. But anyways, talked about that for a long time. Where is Fiddle? I was about to say, oops, that was a fail. Oh my god. Dude, that Bard ult. Okay, he's gonna die for it, but... Whoa! Okay. I thought that looked like a bad idea. Mad Max Fury Road. I didn't watch that, but yeah. I think a lot of movies and stuff are getting a lot better about it. Oh, another Get Out. Get Out was even like explicitly culturally engaged with like stereotypes and stuff like that. Like it was trying to be somewhat of a statement film, but it was still a really good horror film too. Like the you know, the main character felt like an actual person. The main characters did. And you're like, wow, this is like an actual horror film. Where? Okay, here we go.
Life here existed before death.
Not to say that you can't have, I don't know, like I said, it's just complicated. It's like, does that mean you can't do stuff like Tyler Perry, you know, films like Medea's Day Out and stuff? Like, you can't have these super stereotyped kind of films that are just like appreciating, you know, stereotypes and just kind of having fun with it and things like that? I don't think so necessarily, but it just depends on who's making it and why, I guess. It's all super complicated. There's just not a good answer to it.
Every step defiant. Patient as a tree.
Ripley, yeah, Ripley was great, especially for the 80s, right? Like, she was a hero, but, you know, she was troubled. Like, she was kind of like, sort of like a macho, like, anti-feminist type of thing, but I think she was complex. Like, she, you know, was, like I said, especially for that era, right? She wasn't a perfect person. I think that's one of the biggest things, is when you're showing, you obviously, you don't want to go to one end of the spectrum, right? Where it's like, it's all the bad stereotypes and stuff like that too, but you also don't want to go like too far in the other direction and just like overly glorify these characters that are different, that are diverse, right? It's like, oh, you know, this is like this super virtuous, super awesome, you know, African American person, or this gay person with a heart of gold, or, you know, this woman who, you know, has all this compassion and stuff. Like, I think it's important that they be mixed, right? That they actually be real humans, like not stereotyped in a bad way, but not like glorified in an unrealistic good way too, you know? To some extent, once again, depends on the genre and the film, like superhero movies, obviously. Although I think they are becoming more complex. But I think just having that complexity in there, not being afraid to say, yes, this is an African-American character in here, and, you know, we want them to represent something, but it's okay if they're not, like, perfect people, you know? That's good. That's what makes people people, like, authentic. That's what, you know, a lot of the best characters, you know, are complex like that. Like, it's good guys that have a troubled, you know, past, or something really complex about their heroics, right? Or bad guys that have something really relatable about why they're bad, like an understandable backstory. That's what makes a lot of the best characters, is being well-rounded.
I do nature's bidding.
Damn it. F5. How the fuck did he even get over there? How far did he have to walk to get that angle? Because we have a ward right here. Dude, he walked like all the way around here? Like, and hugged this edge to get this angle? Well played, I guess. Yeah. Like, one of my favorites is Hannibal Lecter, you know, from Silence of the Lambs, right? Like, I mean, part of it's just Anthony Hopkins. I think it's the greatest actor of all time. I mean, people can disagree with that, I guess, but he's such a badass. He's so good in, like, every role that he's, like, that I've seen him in. I haven't seen him in, like, a billion different roles, but, especially in Silence of the Lambs. But then even in, damn it, what was that AI series? It was so good. It was like the best first season of anything I've ever seen. And then it devolved so quickly. Fuck, what was that? Fuck, I'm out is dead. Really? Holy shit. He gap closed me that hard. I guess I needed to sidestep the W. It's the thing about the robots becoming human. It's like an HBO show. Anyways, he was so good in that too for the first season. But yeah, anyways, with Hannibal Lecter, it's like, you know, yeah, he was like crazy and he was a murderer, but like the things he was saying were like, you know, and doing were really complex. Like, he was trying to help solve this other murder. I think especially you see that in, I know a lot of people didn't like the follow-up movie Hannibal, but I liked Hannibal just as much, maybe even more than Silence of the World. Yeah, Westworld. Dude, Westworld was so good the first season. I was like, oh my god, this might be the best TV show of all time. It was so thought-provoking. Like, what they were, it's like almost every freaking scene, I was just like, oh my god, this is revealing so much about, like, the nature of humanity. And these characters are so wonderfully rich and complex. A lot of it was just Anthony Hopkins' character, but, and then this, you know, the second season was pretty good for a while until they went to the Japanese world or whatever it was. and then it started getting a little pandering. That's when I really think it started going downhill. And then like the third season or whatever, when they get out, it's just, I couldn't even watch all of it. It's like, oh my god, I've never seen a show fall so far so fast, in my opinion. I'm not like an expert on TV. I haven't watched like every show ever, but yeah, let's see if we can go get this. Well, I don't mind the directionality of it. That's where it just felt like it was getting too... that's a show that did get too sort of, in my opinion, culturally engaged. I don't know if that was it, necessarily culturally engaged, but they just tried to do too much. It would, like, the premise of the first show, it was just too fast. They blew through their best material too fast. Like, they should have stayed in the Westworld and extended those storylines. They could have done that for 5 seasons and just had a much slower reveal of a lot of stuff. But it was like just in the Westworld and the awakening of the AI and stuff like that could have been done so much slower and more dramatically. Like it was, like this first season was awesome, but it's just like they blew all of their good material quickly and then they just started going, you know, more towards stereotypes and like just really... Like, what's her name? The main character just became too much of like this, like almost like a superhero type of stuff, superhero, supervillain type of thing. It was still like okay, there, you know, like I said, the second season was still pretty good, but a lot of it was their most interesting characters. They just got rid of them so quick with Anthony Hopkins' character and then the Man in Black. They just like reduced them to just like a shell of what they were in the first season. Like the Man in Black was just amazing, like his fall and everything, and just like that reveal, I was like, oh my god. I was like, holy shit, because it was so complex. It was like he was this, you know, basically cuck guy, you know, early on, and then he was like so jaded and became like this like really but it was believable, this believable villain, you know. Oh man, it just pisses me off. That show in Game of Thrones, just so fucking good, and then like the material was so awesome, and they just like shit the bed on the execution. But the idea and just the dialogue, the acting, just everything was brilliant. Like that scene between the Man in Black and Anthony Hopkins' character, like in that bar or whatever. Maybe I should go back and watch it just to kind of see where it was all going eventually, but I don't know, god, it's hard for me to watch something when it has such great potential and then it just gets fucked up. I did watch everything with Game of Thrones, but yeah, just playing around with Westworld itself a little bit more. I think they could have just done that so much more. Anyways. And what's his name? The scientist guy. Bernard. That's perfect. Like that was a perfect blend. It was like he's, you know, African American, but that's like who he was, but it didn't like, you know, he wasn't running around eating fried chicken and watermelon stuff, right? Like he was like an actual person, an actual like in a scientific field, and it was like believable. And he didn't just die like right away. I mean, it's kind of a blend of like drama / almost like horror film is what it comes into after a while, but anyways. Oh, yeah, I got back to Platinum 3. Nice. Easy peasy, true. Hateful Eight. I haven't watched that. I need to. I need to get Netflix working on my second monitor is what I need to do. So, like, when I'm, I don't know, just doing whatever, fishing in WoW, or, like, looking up some research, or, you know, whatever it is, I just have some extra stuff there. It's funny. I think I've caught, like, my daughter, you know, she'll have her iPad, but then she likes the iPad and the TV on, and then there's been times where she has my phone with the iPad with the TV. She's, like, playing a game on the iPad while there's a TV show going on the TV, and then she's got next to her the phone with, like, some kind of YouTube video going on. Like, triple screening. It's like, eat that. American Children's Psychology Association, or whatever the hell that acronym is, who say screen time is terrible. I think it depends on what they're watching. Like, just saying an entire medium of communication is bad is just ignorant, in my opinion. It's like, I mean, there is value. Like, you need to go out and do physical stuff. You need to go play outside and, you know, engage with stuff physically. Half the time she's got screens going on and she's playing with her toys anyways. And sometimes she just gets bored with the TV and just will go do some artwork or something, you know? Yeah, me too. I'm like, man, she is so spoiled. Dude, when I was a kid, what I would give for something like the internet, especially with, like, the iPad, I'm like, are you kidding me? You can watch anything, anytime, anywhere, like, unlimited content, basically, with, like, Netflix or something. It's like, what the fuck? I'm, like, watching reruns of The Price is Right on my fuzzy, like, 16-inch TV or whatever it was. Like, 8-bit Price is Right. And I've already seen it. I'm just watching it again. Okay, they're gonna go, you know, they're gonna bid $25,000 on this car, and it's gonna be $24,000. Well, it just depends. I think you're right. Like, you don't want to zombify your kids. I think but I think you can engage with, I think you can engage with media, not zombify. I mean, the thing is, a lot of the media now, especially these games, like on the iPad from Khan Academy Kids and Sesame Street and stuff like that, they're actually very educational. Like, you know, she was trying to play this, like, protect your garden game or something, and she's like, oh, I need to use aphids to stop these, I forgot what it was, like something that, or no, she was using, like, some kind of berries or ladybugs to stop the aphids, or she was using these berries to stop something else. Like, it's teaching them about different wildlife and stuff like that. And they learn a lot of, like, language skills. You know, they don't learn a lot of language skills from, you know, sitting there playing with their dolls, right? Sort of. But, like, hearing other people, you know, talk a lot and seeing how they interact with each other, especially in a positive way. I mean, if they're sitting there, like, watching Looney Tunes, you know, just kind of mindless, glorified, you know, cartoon violence, I don't think that's necessarily as terrible as people make it out to be, but it's not that great, right? It's not that productive. But, like, interacting, playing some of these educational games, they are learning stuff, they are learning language, they are engaging and having to problem solve and figure out some of this stuff by themselves. I think games are actually better than the TV because they actually have to participate. They have to think critically and engage with it if they want to win or if they want to play it. I don't necessarily think TV's bad, but I think that the educational games are extremely useful. Yeah, man, mic up if you want. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you don't want your kids sitting there just watching, you know, just vegging out, like I said, watching Looney Tunes for 16 hours a day, right? Like, you don't want to go to the extreme. But I think balancing some of that in with, you know, going to the park, playing with toys, you know, playing with other kids, you know, just doing other interactive stuff is nice. But I think you're right. You know, you gotta, if you're using that to, if you're using, you know, the media to substitute for parenting, yeah, that's bad. If you just park them in front of the kids just so you don't have to deal with them while you just, you know, AFK on your phone and drink a 6-pack after work. Now, every now and then, I don't think that's necessarily horrible. I mean, people are people, and sometimes you just gotta, it's best for everybody if the parent, you know, just is able to relax a little bit, have the kid veg out and watch some TV, right? But I think if that's what's going on all the time, instead of actually engaging or, you know, whatever, then I think that can be a problem.
Yo, Buff, can you hear me?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Just keeping it real. Just ready to own some noobs here.
About to play some League of Legos.
That's right. That was a nice lead kick under that tier 2 tower. I was like, oh man, he's crazy, and then it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes. This gourd drinker build, it's strange. You're so tanky, and it's a lot different than like every other time I played him. You're just like,
yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, I noticed that. It was just like, you took a couple of shots, and I was like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Is it stride? No, you said you get gore drinker. I was thinking stride breaker, but
I don't know.
yeah, Lee's been really strong lately. Been seeing him a lot in pro.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, I mean, people saying that, like, it's not even that bad. Like, to be honest, that pretty much was too. Like, video games were my babysitter. Video games and TV were my babysitter. Like, my mom wasn't like perma, you know, AFK, but she just worked a lot, man. She's a single mom. She had 2 jobs. Poor, you know, no education really. She had me like right out of high school, and you know, deadbeat dad. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't hate on people that have to do that like too much. People are just doing the best they can. A lot of people work a lot. A lot of people are stressed a lot. A lot of people honestly just aren't like cut out to be amazing parents, right? Like, they do it and they do the best they can, but they might just be, you know, genetically predispositioned to have a short temper. Or, you know, maybe they just had a bad upbringing and they just have never seen what people would consider to be good parenting. You know, maybe their parents were absentee or alcoholics or abusive or whatever. Like, some people are just dealt really tough hands, and they're, you know, some of them are, you know, just trying to do the best they can. Some of them aren't. Some of them are just, like, bad. You know, hence why, like, foster, like, really bad. Hence why, like, foster homes and things like that exist. But, yeah, I mean, people are people. People are human. I think that, you know, all of a sudden we think that someone's a parent and then it's just like, they should be absolutely perfect, and you get kind of shamed as a parent, or, like, the media and all these other people want to shame you if you're not, like, doing everything all these books tell you to do. And it's like, most of the time, most kids, like, have plenty of opportunities and, you know, plenty of chances, and people are just doing the best they can. Like, my mom had the good foresight to find like some cheap stuff on the good side of town with like good public schools, which was huge, because not only do you get a better education, you know, you get you know, your sphere of friends. Like, you have access to
Get it started.
you know, ambitious friends and other people that could be engaged and stuff like that. Because sometimes if you get caught in this, you know, you have really like absentee parents who just like aren't, you know, amazing or even interested in being parents, and then you also go to a really poor school with everyone else who's in a tough social situation too, like stuff can really be stacked against you, you know? Oh, she's dead, right? Yeah. Oh, we're not gonna be able to get him.
I'm just trying to keep them.
But yeah, she had the good, she cared about me a lot. It was just tough, like I said. And she was always, you know, doing her best to be positive, supportive, and
I don't do
but yeah, she put me in a pretty good public school system for the area. It's not like, you know, top 5 in the nation or something, but like the best that you could do, you know, for my area, and it was good. Am I doing any WoW tonight? Yeah, I probably will after stream. This might be my last game. We'll see. But yeah, so I was up on the video games a lot growing up, but it's fine. I don't know, in my opinion. People just hate on it a lot.
Out of control. It ain't a party.
I learned a lot about critical engagement. The thing is, you know, games too, it's a social phenomenon. Like so many friends that I met in school, a big part of how we started like talking in class was about a video game. You know, it was just like, hey man, like, have you played this Zelda? You know, back in the day, and they're like, yeah man, it's like, oh dude, how do you beat this one boss? Or, oh, have you heard about this secret or something? You know, it was, I mean, that was kind of before the internet, right? So we just all didn't know what the hell was going on in most of these games, and anytime someone figured out something cool, you'd share it with other people. But it's like, oh man, you play StarCraft? Dude, you want to play some? Yeah man, let's go play. One of my best friends, just like that, in 8th grade. Sat next to him, heard him talking to some other kid about StarCraft. I'm like, oh man, you guys play? You really think Hydroists are that much of a balance problem? I always thought you could sort of counter them with Marine Medic or something. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go play. So yeah, I mean, it was just like a social thing. It's kind of like TV is sort of like that too, right? It's like gives you something in common. It's like, oh, you watch this movie or you watch this show? Okay. I can't believe we actually got her.
An enemy has been slain.
Bruh.
Ally has been
Jinx is like, nah, bro. Fuck you. Wait on your W. Yeah, TV's like that too, and games are like that too. It gives people a common culture. It gives you something to talk about. And games, something in common to experience. So I think that it's a lot more beneficial than, and can be more social than people make it out to be. They always point to like the negative things, and there definitely are negatives that are possible, but I think there are a lot more positives than people make it out to be too.
Humans call it bad.
Exactly, people who knew like the secret Mortal Kombat like fatalities or whatever other little things they could do. I played some Mortal Kombat. I was more of a Killer Instinct person, dude. I was all about that. The first Killer Instinct, so badass. Arcades were another thing.
Remember my name.
That was a social experience too. You go up and play against other people. You put your quarter up on the machine. You got next. Didn't have to pay if you stayed or whatever. Like if you won the match, you got to keep going. The other person had to pay. Combo breaker, that's right. Dude, that game's probably intense as fuck if you play that professionally right now. I've watched some of the new Killer Instinct just kind of for nostalgia and fun, and I mean, fighting games in general are like very mechanical, but that one specifically because you can break combos and you have to try to choose which are you like gonna go for the longer combo they could break, or are you gonna go for the short, faster like combo that doesn't have as big of a payoff. So I'm not a fighting game expert, especially at like a really high level, but But I always just found that a lot more interesting. It just looked cooler too. Like the combos just looked a lot cooler rather than like jump, kick, trip, you know, like that everybody would do in like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. But I think Mortal Kombat eventually got combos and stuff too. But I don't know. It was fun. Video games are good.
Keep you out of trouble.
Do what?
They keep you out of trouble too.
Yeah, that's right. That's another thing people point out. It's like, oh, my husband plays video games, or you want him to be out at the bar instead until 3 a.m.?
Yep.
With all these hussies flirting with him. Or whatever, you know, out at the casino. Once again, there are, you know, there are limits. Could be bad, but yeah, it certainly can keep you out of trouble.
I dance because I'm free.
And this lane is intense for me.
Yeah, sounds like it's a pretty big skill matchup. Whoa, I can't believe that didn't hit her. Never show Rory MMORPGs. Dude, she's playing WoW, age 4. No, she's playing League, dude. She's getting Challenger. Get her a PC for her 5th birthday. Saying you better get that esports scholarship. We're starting right now. Your training has begun. Get to gold or you're not getting dinner.
Crap. Totally forgot, man. Honestly, you joke about it, but who knows, like, where esports is, like, people do that with real sports, I feel like, dads do.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be the overbearing dad with sports, like, you know. But,
oh yeah, for sure. But how long until, like, my point is, how long until that's esports?
yeah, it's probably coming up.
Yep.
It's probably this generation to some extent. I think the people that kind of respect, you know, the especially the business of, whoa, shit. If I would have sequenced that better, I didn't think he was going to be that AFK. If I would have R'd first, I could have killed him. But I think people probably in their 20s right now, teens, 20s, you know, can definitely respect esports and the professionalization opportunities and the, you know, the money opportunities and stuff like that in it. I think kind of the people in their, I'm kind of one of the oldest generations that's like that. People in their 30s are, you know, maybe like that if they played a lot of games and they're like, you know about the scene, but I think still a lot of people older than that, people in their 40s just aren't gonna respect it.
No, probably not, but
it doesn't.
I mean, everybody respects the money, though.
Exactly. If something gets a lot of money, people can respect it. It doesn't help that it has the word game in it, I think. That confuses a lot of people. Because sport, like, they don't call it sport games, you know? But the fact that it has game, people just think that it's casual, or that it's just kind of a frivolous or a waste of time. Like, they try to turn it into esports, but it's not really like a sport either. Fuck. Fiddlesticks just literally ran the other way. I guess he's trying to go do whatever he's gonna do. I thought he was coming. At least I didn't flash in. I checked the minimap one last time. I was like, okay, well, at least I just lose my ult to him trolling. Wait. I thought there was literally somebody right there. Nocturne.
It's a revolution.
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Oh, this is...
Nocturne's gotta be around, right?
I've been kicked around since I was born. It's all right. It's okay.
Guess I could have put that controller up there faster. I don't know.
Yeah, we haven't seen Nocturne, have we?
He was... There he is.
Oh, there he is. Nice.
Hey, what's up, crew? It's going well. You're welcome to come back in if you want.
Get myself hyped. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Woo!
All right.
Yeah, there's a decent chunk of people playing. If you want to get on and play some, you definitely can. Which character were you in there? I mean, I think it's as much. I mean, it's yeah. I think it's as much of a sport as like golf is, for sure. Esports, like, you know, there is some physicality to golf, but it's a game of you know. Nice. Or like bowling, poker. Definitely poker. I think poker is probably the closest thing that's like an actual like physical thing that's not an esport. That's people. Yeah, chess. It's just competitive. I mean, when people, you know, sometimes people think, oh, well, it's not physical or whatever, or like somehow it's not competitive or hard. I'm like, okay, what's the average like sports player when they're like washed up and can't compete anymore? You know, football like 26 or something, basketball 30, I don't know. Esports like 22. For like the average player, like it's very competitive. It's difficult. People just don't fully appreciate that your mind is a physical instrument, right? Like it's just as much as, you know, your hands or your feet. And it requires physical stuff to operate, you know, correctly, and to have those kinds of reflexes, it's very difficult. It's razor thin. You know, if you're a tenth of a second too slow on some reactions, you're gonna get replaced. And as you get older, it slows down. You can get around it with like good decision making, just like a quarterback can stick around for a long time, you know, with good decision making, or maybe a point guard or something in basketball, but it just gets discounted as like this easy thing with people just sitting around all day, and it's like there is sitting around, but it's very, you know, fine motor movements. It's not like big jumping a ball, you know, jumping and dunking a ball or something, but
MMOs too, like,
yeah.
I played RuneScape, and you learn so much just from, like, actually dealing with people online all day.
Oh, yeah.
At least I did. Like, people, like, I got scammed so many times when I was 11. Of, like, for, like, my RuneScape gold.
Exactly. Then you don't get scammed for your real money at some point.
Yeah.
You learn that.
Oh, yeah, you learn. Yep.
You learn that real quick.
People became, you know, people bought gold on there with Bitcoin back in, like, 2014 and stuff.
Nice.
Not me, but
that's right. Definitely say it. Well, Jinx is still broken. That champ is just like, if she gets ahead at all, it's just so hard. You have to have such a specific setup to deal with her. You gotta hard dive and like blow her up, because if you're just having a shootout, she's gonna freaking win hard. It's just way too much damage, and I don't know, like, why do they have to give her 25 range? It's like, is whatever 725 not enough with their rockets? You gotta go 750 or whatever the hell it is. Oh no, it's too Shrelia.
That's me topside.
Okay.
I'm getting impatient.
Not good.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I was just trying to ward hop that wall, and his darkness makes it so I can't hop over onto even my ward. So I just am stuck there.
Yeah, baseball's. I don't remember who mentioned baseball. I think that might have been you a second ago. Baseball is probably a really, really good analogy too, because most of that is just based on like coordination, reflexes, right, and accuracy when you're batting. I mean, there is physical strength to that to some extent, but you know, to hit home runs and stuff, and you do have to run, you know, if you're outfield. But historically, at least, there have been some, you know, baseball players that are like in okay shape, but not like.
And there's some big-bellied pitchers.
Exactly. Trying to figure out a way to word that, not to insult, you know, baseball people, but.
Yeah, remember, I loved the Indian. CC Sabathia was a big dude, and he was so good because of the fast.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's a game of like coordination, hand-eye coordination, reflexes, all that. I mean, that's the same thing as esports. You're just sitting in a chair instead of, you know, sitting on the bench waiting for your turn to bat in baseball, right? So yeah, there definitely are some athletic, you know, especially if you're an outfielder, you know, running down some of those fly balls and stuff like that. But a lot of it is reflexes and, you know, accuracy. That's what esports is, so.
For humans, magic is
Also, just from a financial side, I'm pretty sure esports pulls a bigger crowd than everything except for football right now in America.
Wow.
Don't have Shirley's for a moment. Don't need it. OP. Yeah, Babe Ruth is kind of the most iconic. I think the game's come a long way since then, but... Anyways, I think the younger generation understands that. You know, teenagers, people in their 20s and stuff. And it's just, you still got kind of the old guard. The parents of those people are still, you know, kind of, a lot of them are still kind of unsure. Think of video games as sort of a waste of time. Waste of time at best. And, you know, potentially harmful at worst.
never seen moves like that.
He's mid somewhere, or he was.
Okay. Oh, he's down here.
We can definitely hard run this fight. I got it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, I guess I'll go match Fiora now.
Yeah.
myself.
Unless we can end. I mean, that's 3 dead with supers right in the base.
It is 20 seconds though. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't.
I think it would take us 15 just to walk up there.
Yeah. She's back.
Okay. Should be fine.
Yeah.
It's just so early. It feels like it's late game because you got so many items and we're just beating the hell out of them, but it's only literally 20 minutes.
Yeah, we got 3 drakes too.
Okay, Rakan.
Oh, I didn't. Crew, which character were you on there?
Burn 'em up.
TBC or whatever. I'm just gonna go for Ardent. It's not super common on Rakan. It's still a good item, but because Jinx is so fed,
Need nothing. Bring it on.
we'll just help her out. And Lee. Lee likes the Ardent too. Maybe they were ready to disown Faker's parents. I don't know. I feel like South Koreans are definitely parents. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like they are definitely way more understanding. Just that culture in general, I think, embraces video games a lot more. But it's probably, instead of just like, there's no way you could be successful on that, which is what some American parents might think. It's probably a lot closer to like, you could be successful, but you're not going to be successful. Kind of like someone who wants to be in the NBA or something here in America. It's like, you know, at a certain point, they're going to think, quit wasting your time. That's a pipe dream. That's not happening. So it's like, it could happen. It's just not going to happen with you. So go to business school, son. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, man. I mean, if Rory's a badass, I would totally support her trying to go, you know, esports or whatever. You're like, hell yeah, you're really good at this. You're gonna be getting a scholarship or something, or even going pro. If she wanted to, you know, if she got offered something on the amateur circuit, I'd say, yeah, take it. You go to college later, or whatever, you know. It's a small window of time where you can do this if it's something she really wants to do. Oh, God. What?
Shut
Yeah.
You have been slain.
Yeah, Jinx wasn't there, and then they just had the perfect setup for that Yasuo ult. I kind of pulled everybody together. I pulled all of them together, and then all of our people dogpiled on top of that, and... Oh, wow, that's a burn and a half there, dude. That's awesome. Butter says Faker's name comes from what his parents called him when comparing him to his brother, his successful brother. Saying that he's fake, that he's not gonna be successful or authentic. I assume.
Yeah,
That might not be a perfect translation from, like, what that word might mean in Korean, but... Yeah. Sounds like parents were definitely haters, and he's giving him a shout-out with his name.
Sounds like they definitely helped him.
Yeah, motivated him.
It does. Yeah, yeah.
Some people are like that, man. I mean, Michael Jordan was like that, too. I mean, Faker kind of is the Michael Jordan of, you know, league.
Yes.
But yeah, Jordan was like that, too. I think his parents doubted him quite a lot, and, you know, his high school coach doubted him a lot, and... He had a good relationship with his parents eventually, but... Definitely some rocky stuff. The Last Dance was such a baller-ass documentary, too. It's one of the only, like, TV things I've watched in a while, but it was so good.
Damn, I should have been there earlier, wasn't paying attention.
I think we'll get it. I think it'll be okay.
Yon and I will get there about the same time. Here.
Wait, where's Fiddle? Over here.
I heard a zone, yes.
Yeah. Shit. I overchased. As soon as they flashed my W, I should have just backed. I did zone the other two off for quite a while, but I don't think it was worth.
I think if I just stall her, we can end.
Okay. Well, Ezreal's gonna spawn. You get inhibitor.
Nice.
Is Faker taking 2 years off to play Dota, or is that a troll? That would be such a terrible decision.
Yeah, what? Dota? Like...
The fuck? First of all, he's not going to be nearly as good at that, because it's like, it's the same genre, but it's not the same game.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, and like, he just doesn't have the following, and Dota's just not as big of a game in general. Like, I think it's pretty big in, like, Russia. Like, there are a few regions where it's pretty big, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know he was getting benched.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting replaced a lot. Like, he wasn't playing a lot of games.
Okay. Well, yeah, if he's kind of just not having it, or his team's just not having it, and someone throws a wheelbarrow of money at him to try to, you know, put Dota on the map, you know, can't hate on people for taking money, or I try not to, but it's like people hating on Ninja for going over to that whatever the hell that streaming service was. It was awful.
Mixer.
Yeah, Mixer. It's like, yeah, dude, it's like, bro, are you telling me right now if someone offered you $30 million to go do something stupid, you wouldn't do it? It's like, no way. Like, of course I would. Like...
I'm gonna back and stop. You wanna go? I'm just gonna back and stop her.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think all we're gonna get is this inhibitor.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
We might be able to get a little more, but yeah, especially if you can stop her back. Trading you for her is good.
Yeah, she's not gonna back.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's good. Protecting the base and keeping her from backing too.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. She's gonna get hit, but game's over. So.
Got him. That'd be like Ninja leaving Fortnite for League. Yeah. Well, I mean, he was kind of falling off in Fortnite too. I don't think he was ever like insanely good at Fortnite. He was like okay, but he just was a really early adopter and had really good marketing and just a really good brand, pretty much. I think he's kind of ruined his brand a bit with League. I've heard he's kind of toxic. He might have been toxic in Fortnite too. I don't know, but I mean, fuck, he got paid, man. He didn't have to do anything else for the rest of his life. If he don't want to, he's got $50 million. As long as he's not like an idiot with that money, which a lot of people are. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I can't hate on it. It's like I would do a lot of things for $30 million. That's a lot of money. Certainly just go like play some video games somewhere else and, you know, potentially lose your following. You don't even need you don't need a following. If you have $30 to $50 million, just play whatever the hell you want to play. You don't need the money.
You gonna play another one?
I don't care either way.
I'm down to play if you want to.
Sure, I'll play one more.
All right. I think
We've
I'm
been-
one off of platinum.
Nice. We'll get you there. Yeah, he
I'm 71.
oh, okay. Yeah, I've been doing some lighter streams the last few nights. I'll do one that's a little bit longer, especially if we're winning.
Yeah.
We got a good duo. I'm not sitting here just getting yellow queued.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels that way.
That's right. It's just always more fun, obviously, with like a duo. I think I don't think my win rate really changes that much most of the time, but it's just more fun to just duo.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And yeah, you don't experience the pain alone. Also.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just more so. It just adds that social element and it adds some humanity to it instead of just watching all these bots on your screen run it down, basically.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think also why people are so toxic is like, you don't even see them as real people. When they're
Exactly.
playing.
Yeah. It's just like some idiot bot that you can cuss out, not like an actual person in a chair. That's you know, got a family and you know, all this other stuff, right? I mean, I'm guilty of that sometimes too. I try not to be like super toxic, but I think everyone, at least if you played League any amount of time, has kind of lost it a little bit, at least occasionally.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's just how it is. It's so prolific on kind of all social media stuff too, man. People just don't think about what they're saying and how it could impact other people. Doesn't mean you can't say what you want to say or like that everyone always has to censor themselves, but you know, it's just like, is that really necessary to say that, right? That outfit makes you look fat on someone's Twitter or something like that. It's like, do you really need to say that? Is that like, wouldn't your day just have gone perfectly fine if you didn't say that? People just aren't aware. People are just ignorant.
This is our same fiddle.
Okay,
Fiddle
nice.
and mid.
You got the
4
crew.
of the 5.
Got the midnight crew here.
3 a.m. crew.
That's right. The late nighters. I guess let's get rid of Morg.
Your worst decision will haunt you.
Taking a break from the mechanics here.
Oh, nice. The Glacier Special. Let's just take it easy and just go for some right clicks.
Exactly. I don't need to be bouncing around all over the place like that every game.
That's right. Kane. I mean, I could just do Rakan again. Maokai is good, but Rakan just cucks assassins so hard.
Well, they do have Ori, so they won't have a mid assassin.
That's true.
But Kane is an assassin.
Okay, good. Yeah, Maokai would have been bad in a Yuumi. Yuumi's
Oh,
like,
is
yeah, because you can't pressure her late game. She can just kind of heal through your seeds.
Ah.
At least if you're building AP. I mean, if you build tank with like Kim Tank and Deadmans, and you just engage on her. We got another Jinx too. Good. Getting all the Jinxes tonight instead of the Sivers and Ezreals. Unless it's your Ezreal.
Yeah.
Got to throw the save in there. But no, so many people are so bad on Ezreal. I'm like, please just don't.
Yeah. He can be so good. He can be such a good pick, though, I feel like. If they have lots of assassins and you have no peel, it's like the only thing that will ever do any damage.
Oh yeah, his kit is great for solo queue, and even in pro, it's just like the execution is he's just so hard to play really well, because you need to be hitting, you know, at least 50% of those queues for him to be viable, and a lot of people just can't do it.
Yep. And plus, yeah, I like him for Blitzcrank too. That's nice.
Oh yeah.
Blitzcrank and thrash those hooks because it's impossible to get hooked.
Yeah. You just have that reaction to E out.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's not it's not just a blink. Yeah, exactly. So I was gonna say it's not just a blink. It's also a buffer, kind of like Tristana's W.
Yeah.
It's one of those old school season 1 champs with squirrely ass interactions. So yeah, I mean, I've seen, you know, people like like double lift or something get hooked, and they're like halfway, you know, halfway pulled back in, and then just blink back out.
Yeah, that's cool about Faker's name. I just thought of that again. That's sweet.
That is pretty cool, just kind of giving the middle finger to your parents. I mean, it was a teenage thing when he did that, so maybe he was just kind of, maybe they weren't that hardcore about it, and he was just kind of angsty about it. I don't know. Hopefully he's found a way to amend that.
Yeah, I know.
Unless his parents were total douchebags, in that case, fuck them, but...
Yeah, hey, I agree. I know he like said he wasn't gonna get a wife while he was playing League of Legends, or a girlfriend, because he wants to put all his time into that. I remember reading he said that like 2 years ago.
Makes sense.
But he's a dedicated dude. So that's why that Dota thing's kind of strange.
Yeah. I didn't see if people said that was like a real thing or not. Oops.
Honestly, I wonder, ESPN needs to get in on esports a lot more, I guess, or like what's going to be the ESPN of esports is like my thoughts, because I should know. Like, I would want to know if Faker was switching. You know, I wish I could watch something to see that, the esports news.
Yeah, I agree. I think .com esports is trying to get into that space, but I don't know that it's like an actual show. It's just articles and clips and stuff like that. I think there are a lot of places like that, but yeah, there's not really like a behemoth. It's like that. Let's do a whole bunch of drugs and don't sleep. Hell yeah.
Playing versus Quinn here. Here's your matchup. How's that matchup go for you down in the bot lane?
I think it's pretty good. Hold on a second. Let me see here.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
May or may not be doing a little auction house on the side while we're loading in there. There we go.
Efficiency.
That's right.
In RuneScape, they say no XP waste.
Should be taken seriously.
That's
I don't know if
right.
you've heard that before.
Oh yeah. People are doing that right now with TBC WoW. They're just like, kill the trash, you know, in the dungeon or whatever. We want max XP every run. Yeah, like, we should be able to have an edge early. I think ESPN is actually covering some esports, but I don't know how.
Yeah, I follow them on Twitter, their esports, but I mean, it just doesn't feel very good. Like,
Yeah.
anytime I see the articles or anything, I'm like,
Yeah, it's kind of
it
it's
feels
like
makeshift.
yeah, it's like right now at this stage, a lot of it is still just like casual coverage, you know, reporters, but they aren't like
I do not wish to
former
kill
pro
my boys.
players and stuff like that. Like you have on the
Yeah.
ESPN talk shows and stuff like that, like either pro players or people who have studied the game for decades, like with football or basketball, and they just like, you know, are
Yeah.
really into it. Like they just don't have that yet for esports. At least it feels like it's not that prolific.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be sweet to have like Yerkson one day on there, like or
Yeah.
somebody like that.
Exactly. Yeah, having something like that is just kind of starting to branch out a little bit more. Chinese have animation. League of Legends movie. I think they're probably doing that. If they haven't announced it, I'm sure they're probably doing it.
They're doing a series.
They're doing an animated series. Yeah, that's right. I said I thought that was actually the best medium too when people asked about that a long time ago, because people who like League or so many of them are gonna like anime, and that's just there's so many different characters and different like areas and zones to explore that I think you have so much material that I think
it's gonna
having
be
just
awesome.
yeah, little focused seasons around a certain cast of characters in a certain region with a certain conflict and stuff like that, making it blanking out on the word, but not topical, but something like that would be better than trying to do a movie that could somehow cover everything. Video game movies also, for whatever reason, just kind of have this like record of being bad movies for the most part.
They're gonna try and test me.
Is there a good video game movie?
I was trying to think of one when you said that, and I can't.
I can't think of one either.
I was like,
I don't know why, because like the material is so good, but I think it's because so many video games, especially these established games, have been around. There's so much there, you just can't cover it in like 2 hours.
Dance and dance.
yeah.
And
Did they make a WoW one?
yeah, they did. I heard it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, we did get our flash earlier.
I'm getting
And I think they just kind of go overboard on the CGI and focus a lot more on like the effects than the characters. I think it'll happen someday, just like superhero movies. Most of them used to be pretty garbage for a long time until, you know, pretty much Marvel. The X-Men and Marvel in the early 2000s. Some of the Batmans were pretty good in the 90s, you know. I liked them as a kid, but going back, some of them are a little shaky.
I need some fun. Now.
But yeah, with like that first like X-Men reboot or whatever with Fox, and then the Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, like that kind of started superhero movies being like, all right. Part of it was the special effects, but part of it was, you know, them sort of taking the subject matter a little more seriously too, and
Tobey Maguire, best Spider-Man.
he's pretty good. You know, I kind of like the new guy, Tom Holland. I think is pretty good too. But
Yeah, that's what my girlfriend says, but I tell
Yeah.
her Tobey Maguire's the best.
there you go.
I'll never.
Never let it go.
No.
He was the first. He revolutionized it for sure. The role, not the first, but like of the modern era.
Wow.
Yeah, Tom Holland's. It's just like the new take on it. Just he feels like, I think he feels the most like an authentic, actual teenager. Part of that's the script. It's just a lot better.
They will see my dance. Then
Villains are a little less cartoony. But I did the first couple of Spider-Mans. The first two were awesome with Tobey Maguire back in the day.
Yeah, I love the first one
It was
myself.
just the right amount of special effects and believable characters. The third one, jeez.
damn, it's not even right.
It's like, can you not? I just want to see just one with Venom, where it's like that's his main antagonist. Just one with Venom, where it's like just Spider-Man and Venom, and it's not garbage. That Spider-Man 3, it was like Venom, Sandman, Green Goblin again. It's like way too many villains.
Dance so fine, I kill.
Yeah. Too much.
And then they were trying this really weird, like, stuff. I mean, like, yes, the black suit influences him, but like that dancing scene with him and stuff, it was just, I don't know. The script is just horrible. Toby was trying, man. And what's his name? The guy, Red Foreman from that 70s show. I don't think he's necessarily a bad actor, but he was not a good fit for that role of Eddie Brock. That was one of the more disappointing
I dance
movies
because
that I
I'm
watched
free.
when I was younger because the first two were so good.
An enemy has been
Dr.
slain.
Octopus was great. I don't know who that actor was, but he played it really well. Had a good script. That's awesome, Dave.
I need my
Yeah.
love to
Dave
hurt.
said he skipped class to go watch it multiple times in high school.
I don't apologize for it. I feel good.
Yeah, it was so revolutionary. Like, holy shit. It's actual good, you know, comic book movie. I didn't think the ones with what's his name, the tall guy, were like the Amazing Spider-Man with Emma Stone and whatever. I didn't think they were as bad as people made them out to be. The second one was iffy. The first one was all right. Garfield. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely the right call to kind of reboot it with Tom Holland. It just has a much fresher feel, and I feel like he's a very good young actor. I like the romance with Zenyatta too. Who is she? Is she supposed to be Mary? I think she's Mary Jane, right?
They're scared of darkness.
It's just so delightfully awkward. Like, it actually feels like a teenage romance. Like, they don't feel like people in their 20s and 30s playing teenagers. It feels like actual teenagers. And part of that's the script and part of that's their acting. But they're just so delightfully awkward.
Is my cloak right? Yes, it
But
is.
not like too awkward where it feels weird. Like, it's just the right amount. And they're just like both nerds, which I think makes like perfect sense given sort of their situation. I think it's just very well crafted.
I will walk in. I will dance.
And I like that they haven't done the Green Goblin again too. I know that's like an iconic storyline, but it's like it's too much. They're picking some other characters that are, you know, interesting. I thought the Vulture plotline was great. You know, being involved, like that actor, I forgot who he is. Yeah, I know he's really famous, but
I hate it when
he played it very well. And, you know, he's had a nice, complex social... I mean, Green Goblin's complex, too, right? It's, like, his best friend's dad, so... But it was good. And then the second one with Mysterio is pretty solid, too. It's very weird kind of feel to it, but it fit right in with them trying to transition to be a sort of cosmic characters. I agree. I think the whole reason we haven't gotten a Venom Spider-Man thing is just like stupid movie rights crap. Like Sony has the rights to Venom, but they sold their rights to Spider-Man over to Marvel. For some reason Marvel didn't pick up Venom, or they couldn't. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was some bullshit, some like corporate bullshit. And that's why they haven't been able to do it, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember who owned what. So, I think Sony owns Venom, and that's like kind of all they own that's like worthwhile. What the fuck? Dude. How did she get out of there that fast? Does she have mercs? Cleanse? That was so fast. It felt like his fear was only like 1 second. Hey, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's all this. I mean, I get it. Intellectual property is important and people pay a lot of money for that stuff, but it just kind of sucks when you can't do certain iconic plot lines because your IP is split up among these different corporations. I thought the Venom movie was pretty cool for what it was. It was a different kind of, you know, movie, but not like, you know, top 5 all time, you know, or anything superhero movies, but it was like pretty good for what it was. Just kind of an action, edgy action flick sort of thing. Exactly, yeah. Topher Grace was that 70s show. That's what I was saying. That casting was. I think most of that was a script and a casting fault. Can't blame him for taking the work and making money. I mean, he hasn't done a ton of stuff, I don't think, since then. Like I said, I'm not gonna hate on people for making money, but like the producer or the casting director or whatever, it's just not right. Like, because I don't think Eddie Brock. I mean, I don't remember if Eddie Brock was supposed to be, you know, whatever, nerdy. If I could have shielded her, maybe. God, Yuumi with Kane is gonna be. Ugh. Yuumi's just such a pain in the ass.
The cool thing is I can silence Kane, and we can just blow him up right away. So I think,
I know people are watching. How can they not be?
I just like, yeah, look, that's the best thing about Garen, man. You just flash, silence, ignite, you are dead.
Yeah, I didn't
get their shield off or R.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I didn't think he was. I'm not like a comic book expert. I did have some of the comic books and I collected the cards growing up. But I'm not like an expert on the, you know, the storylines and stuff. But yeah, I thought Eddie Brock was more of kind of like a jock bully kind of vibe. Like, he had sort of his, you know, artistic side to him. He was a journalist, but I thought he was like much bigger build, more of a bully type of figure.
And that's why I love it.
I thought the new Venom was cast pretty well. Like, I thought that guy, I was like, okay, that... He's like hard-nosed reporter, kind of a, you know, kind of rough around the edges sort of dude. Not necessarily a bad guy, but... But you just never get to see his interactions with Peter. Like with Spider-Man, that's like his main foil, you know?
They ain't seen
Wow.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. He did play Bane. Remember that? Yeah.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. Great voice for it. It blew my mind that he's, isn't he like English? Like British?
Yeah.
His Jersey accent, I thought, was on point.
They ain't ready for what I'm bringing.
Peaky Blinders, he's in that too. That's awesome. If you never watched that, that's one of the best shows of all time. It's a show though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Some bad stuff's going on over here.
Yeah, I think we just lose that.
I don't know. Maybe if it's not warded and Fiddle gets a good.
If he R's.
Can he R?
Nice. I'm here.
Ain't nothing I say you take it serious. That's why it's the truth.
Oh god. Jesus. Did he not have R? He has R!
He was just focused on the Drake, I guess.
R in and take the Drake with your R and your smite.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I had them all. I really hope that was on cooldown. I thought he had it the whole time. Maybe did he not have mana? Oof. Because if he ults that pit, it's triple kill.
I was born.
Oh yeah.
It's all right. It's okay.
Holy shit, that was really bad. Unless I didn't notice something. Unless it was like on cooldown for another 5 seconds, or he was out of mana, or... Because they don't even have anything that can interrupt it instantly. Ori ball, I guess? I didn't think she had her ball near him.
Don't leave me nothing. Bring it all.
If it interrupted it, then his ult wouldn't be up.
Oh, David says it was on CD. Okay. It's like, there's no way in hell he doesn't ult that.
Humans think that to believe in something, you have to be serious about it. That's their problem.
Must have had like 10 seconds or something. I think we kind of had to go for it. I could have gone. I kind of greeted a little bit. I could have put more into killing the Kane. I thought he was going to die, and then I used my W on, I think it was Ballista, or Kaisa. So it's getting rough. We might be able to do it. We can win 1 or 2 fights.
Yeah, I think this game is definitely.
Rakan, what are you doing? Why are you trying to cover this tower?
Instead. True story.
Why have you died so much, Rakan? Quit dying.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Yuumi just hard.
Okay.
I feel like my allies aren't recognizing how amazing my cloak is. I mean, seriously. Rude.
We can kill her for sure.
Alright. Holy shit. Maybe could have W'd. I think you might have died to Ignite if I didn't use my second shield on you, though.
It's just a few.
Yeah. That was real close.
Yeah. Maybe could have got her.
I can't believe she didn't die to my R.
I think if I played that better, I could have had it. Just couldn't get my mouse in the right place at the right time. I need a better mouse. Little jank ass $13 mouse.
Yeah.
From, like Best Buy. Like a boomer going into Best Buy. My mouse just like went out one day and I was like, I gotta stream. I don't have time for Amazon. I'll just order it over the weekend. It's like a year and a half ago.
Year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Rakan.
I am definitely more confident in dangerous situations.
Do you think? No, this is someone else. This is Clean Lee. I don't know what's up with Jason. He's been working a lot more lately or something. I texted him. I thought he said he was supposed to be off work, so hopefully nothing bad happened. Can he really get away? We just cannot. This is what I'm talking about with Yuumi, man. We just cannot do anything. When they get ahead, she just hops around to everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's just like Ori can kill us all, Kane can kill us all, Kaisa can.
Yeah, everybody's so fed.
Quinn's strong too. Like, I mean, honestly, we could win if you would just do that. Like, if we just group, they'll give them an angle. I know they will.
Yeah.
They're not good.
Oh, can we, maybe we can contest this? I don't know.
For us,
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, God.
We're late on that flash. Damn.
Oh,
I
God.
don't have R.
He's blue with Gore Drinker. That's a pretty gross combo.
Well, damn.
It's always the person with the most deaths. It's always got the most to say. You wanna try it again, or are you done? I don't care either way.
Yeah, man, I'll keep playing.
Okay.
I don't care though. Like, if you wanted to FF, I wouldn't be mad.
Magic is a
Well, I'll keep going. It is possible. It is a non-zero number that we could win this.
It'll press R at the right time.
Yeah, might have a 0 in front of it, but
I think we just kill her here. Oh,
so many shields and heals. Dude, she's like full fucking health.
yeah. She was like 1/4 health whenever you started your engage.
No. It's like Yuumi heal, okay, full. Yuumi doesn't even have Moonstone either.
I honestly was crazy enough to think we were gonna kill her too. Like, I firmly believed that.
I thought maybe, but it's like her shield. She's like shielding herself for like 400, and Yumi's healing her for like 400.
Yeah.
And both of those are like less than a 10-second cooldown right now.
Turret has been destroyed.
And both of them speed her up too, potentially.
I wonder if we just got out comp. No, their comp isn't that good. I don't know. Do you think they outdrafted us? Because I really don't like. I like our comp.
It depends. I don't know. Yuumi with those champs, like Yuumi and Ori is. I think we made a lot of mistakes. I think it was winnable. If they did outdraft us, I don't think it was so much that it's like no way we could win.
Has been destroyed.
They might be maybe slightly favored. I don't know. It's tough. Because Jinx has the potential to be so good, but so does Yuumi. It's very snowbally.
I have Ignite.
A lot of it just comes down to like silent, like a skilled. Oh Jesus!
Ouch.
A skill check with Silas and the positioning of Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, she was definitely better at Lux. Not like this Silas.
Well,
Has been slain.
Damn. That was a 600 gold shutdown.
hell yeah.
I don't even think, man. Trust
I'm not gonna be able to do it. No, I'm gonna get pwned.
Humans make promises. More than
Rakan, why are you trying to kill her? Why are you trading your ultimate for her flash, dumbass? 1 minute cooldown for a 5 minute cooldown.
This game is over. I would have voted yes for it.
Yeah,
After we lost that last fight, it was-
yeah. We just can't kill anybody with Ori and.
yeah, that Ori ult last time was like, holy.
Yeah.
I am gonna kill this Quinn though. Just for my ego.
Oh, oh, oh. Come back time. Here we go, baby.
Oh. This just felt really good to kill that Yuumi at least.
Oh yeah. Yumi's like probably the best champion, the most satisfying champion in the game to kill.
Yeah, and that's the first time. That's her only death.
I know. I mean, I like playing Yumi. I think she's fun, but definitely do not want to play against her.
time I broke my keyboard and I played 4 games of Yuumi and won 2 of them with just a mouse. No buttons or anything. I had to like manually right click on my abilities to use them. And I was like, what champ can I play since I don't have a keyboard?
This looks like another
I was like, I'm gonna
dangerous
play some Yuumi.
situation.
And I won 2 of them. Nobody even noticed either. Nobody said anything. Just full mouse gameplay.
Long ago, our kind danced upon the mountains like flames.
I think there was some kind of meme. I don't know where somebody won a game. If somebody like won a game like playing on another computer with their foot or something, like playing Yuumi, like on their laptop.
With their foot.
Yeah, like they were playing the ADC and they were playing the Yuumi.
Oh, yeah, he's probably just like spamming heal.
Yeah, exactly. Just hit that E button with your foot.
Yeah, and R. And he's probably... There's 30%.
I think it was something like, I might be making that up, but I'm pretty sure someone like played both Yuumi and an ADC one way or another, and
Yeah, that R is so OP. If he can get that, he could fight. But
yeah.
I mean, or he is ending the game. But...
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it started going south with that dragon fight, where they got dragon and basically aced us.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the turning point, because we definitely could have aced them at that same time. Like, it was a...
I guess we shouldn't have tried it with that Fiddlesticks' ult. The chat said that he didn't have it, so...
Yeah. He inted for that Drake, too, the Cloud Drake.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. But anyways, good games, man. I'll catch you next time.
Alright, man. Hey, GG's.
Yeah.
See you later.
See ya.
Like this stream, man.
Alright, thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. Well, that's going to be it for today. Thank y'all very much. Tried to play a little bit longer today. I know we got a late start. I'm going to eventually try to get back to that 11:30, you know, to like 2:30 time block, or maybe even 3:30 time block. See if we can get 3 or 4 hours in there as soon as I get caught up in WoW. But anyways, that's going to be it. Have a good day, and we'll see everybody next time.